working with the standard. Okay, one of the things you have to look at with the standard, and then I'm going to put our Harvard presentation on. Dr. Kim Huggins did a paper on what is standing. But the biggest thing is that I'm seeing, and you really have to evaluate, again, this is for your child, not for in general, but the standard right now is in a backwards motion. So therefore, neurologically, it's not a stand. It is pressure of gravity into the hip sockets, but cognitively, it's not a functional movement. There's no way I can stand in that position and maintain it. I'm going to fall, right? But the reason the standards usually don't go forward is because then the child doesn't have head control, and then the head goes forward. So they're actually pulling this back. Good morning, Enrique. How are you? When they have the standard, right? So if I do something like this, let's see if I can pull this off, right? So when I'm standing, sorry, this is the part of modern technology and not having someone here to help you. Anyway, when I'm standing, right? And so my whole system can work around it. I can't stand like this, right? This is, if the wall disappears, I'm going to fall down. And so when you're putting a child into a standard, and guys, again, I'm talking about the evaluation of the standard that from the video, not in general, right? We're all doing these things for different reasons. You have to listen to your doctors first. But as far as that, it doesn't equate to standing. When you do a movement and it can't turn into function, just because you have a visual definition of like, oh, you're on your feet, it's a stand. No, it's a pre-fall, right? The pre-fall is being suspended, and that's why the child's wrapped. What are the cons to that? You can have increased spasticity, because I'm falling, you know what I mean? And that's, put me on a skateboard, you're going to have increased spasticity. It's not just that. You're falling. And then on top of that, it's not going into the cognitive awarenesses of, I'm standing, I'm this chilling out. Now here I can be on my chair and just, be waiting for my plane kind of thing and just relaxing. I get it. I'm not in a fall. And again, that's where the evaluation has to come from. But if she's actually up there, and it's going to especially affect her breathe-swallow ratio, we can also could be reduced talking, reduced breath, respiratory responses, increased cardiac, by my heart racing, because I'm just sitting here like, I can't tell my mom, but, So again, I'm not trying to say don't use it just because some lady on YouTube did it. This is where, you have to evaluate your child. Do we need to adjust it? I would not feed her in that position because, again, you stand back like that and try and eat a banana, and it's not easy. I get it. You might say, oh, but she's on a G-tube. I don't remember. But even so, even though I'm a G-tube, I'm still going to swallow. And if that swallow mechanism is off, right, I'm going to protect the breath-swallow ratio before I'm going to even start talking. And so all of those things had to be taken into consideration. The pros would be, is that child getting enough pressure into the hips to support going into femur angles? That's what they're after. They are after development. Now, in some standards, it's great. I'm walking around my kitchen. I can hang out with my mom. It's a social thing, and that's good too. But please, please, please look at those things that I mentioned, and you're going to have to do an evaluation on her and adjust the angles or again, the use of it, of making sure you're present at all times kind of thing, to make sure that, again, you're just working on pressure into the hips, because other than that, in that position, there's no stand involved. As far as I'm standing, I can sit up, I can sit down, I'm not falling, and I can go walk. That's what standing is. Thanks.